that he can do different compositions, because up to this point, we'd really only seen one thing out of Aegis. So I think that was a good game by him. Spawn changing it up a little bit as well with that Zergling, Baneling, Roach in the early game. And I feel like maybe his transition into either Infestors or Hydralisk was just a little bit late. Aegis was able to move his army out with the medevacs just a few times too often, and I think that was kind of the game changer there.
I think one of the biggest parts of that game, one of the point where the pendulum shifted into Aegis' favor, was there was that huge engagement in the middle of the map with the Roach, Bane, Ling, and he was able to get a really good complete surround and kill off pretty much the entirety of the Terran army, except for that little bit that managed to pick up. But because he overcommitted with that heavy Roach count, he pushed into that third base, desperately trying to do damage, trying to hit the mineral line, trying to make that count. Then he got caught by tanks and just enough remacroing bio that he lost every little bit of those Roaches. So he just wasn't able to really remacro that as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we have Game 3 ready to rock right now. I mean, it's right on the computer. We're already in the lobby for it. So you know what? Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into this game.
I'm excited.
We are going to be on Derelict Watcher, which is a pretty wide open map if I recall rightly. Yeah, here we go. Here's the loading screen. So it's a very wide open map. It's great for Zerg in that, right? A lot of great ability to flank and the like. Not good for Widow Mines here. I think we're going to be seeing some sort of maybe bio play with a lot of medevacs, maybe out of Aegis. I don't know. We do have Aegis on the top right-hand side, by the way, spawning there, and that is going to be 1-1 for the series right now. So the best of 3 series, 8th match here. Aegis on the top right-hand side, Spawn on the bottom left-hand side. What do you want to see out of Spawn this game? He is the loser of the last game, so he kind of needs to dictate how he plays this himself.
Just going to go ahead and mention real quick, the format of the tournament is loser picks after the first game. So this is Spawn's choice. So he did decide on this map, so he definitely has something in mind. My guess is it's probably going to be Ling, Baneling, Muta, simply because this is a pretty decent map for drops. It's wide open, so you're going to be able to get the surrounds, like he said. The only thing about this map that's a little bit more for Ling, Baneling is the fact that there's really no counterattack paths. It's pretty happy for being able to sort of wall in and take a good position. There's 1 or 2 counterattack paths, but none of them are quick and easy to set up.
Yeah, the thing that's going to be really big on this map, I think, is going to be having the map control, having the ability to see what is going on in the map. And in that right, I think I'm going to have to give a little bit of favor to Spawn just because his creep spread has been so good in the past couple of games. I mean, the wide open area of the map, you just need to know when your opponent's going to be pushing out. These Zelnaga towers down at the south and the north really don't do all that much for you. It will help with scouting drops, but not with scouting out the big bio army or the big mech army or something moving out across the middle of the map. So I think that's going to be kind of big for Spawn here.
And the one thing that Spawn actually hasn't been having all that much trouble doing so far this game is spotting those drops. He's had great Overlord spread, great map awareness, great map vision. He's been able to see those drops coming from a mile away and take care of them fairly easily, as we saw in that last game with that attempted Hellbat drop. Other than that, pretty standard stuff. It will be, once again, Command Center first, coming out from Aegis. That is a 14 CC. And it's going to be a 15 hatch out of Spawn as well. Both these players setting up to go for some sort of at least a mid-game style as they're going for a little bit of economic play early on.
Spawn going to be opening up the same way this time around.
Putting down that extractor because it smells.
Because it smells, and that apparently distracts Aegis here. Going to be putting down that extractor, and I mean, I really still don't understand exactly what that's for, especially if the first refinery isn't even taken yet. I mean, that's not really going to delay all that much here. Command Center about halfway done. Hatchery about halfway done. Those really got laid down at the same time. And again, Spawn going to go ahead, delay metabolic boost just a little bit extra longer because that Command Center did come down first. It does not need that immediately. And again, Aegis is going to surround that extractor with a lot of SCVs there and take that out pretty much as quickly as you can. So maybe he is planning on taking both these castles very quickly and just trying to tech up super fast.
Well, to be fair, he's doing a pretty decent job of pulling the exact amount of SCVs to kill it pretty dang quickly so that he doesn't have them off minerals for too terribly long enough still to put a little bit of a dampener in his mood. That right there, that many SCVs pulled for that long, is definitely worth the 25 minerals from Spawn. We do see pretty much continuous standard play, no gas quite yet out of Spawn, so he is not, once again, going for that early metabolic boost. Going to go ahead and delay that a little bit because he did scout that this is going to be a CC first out of Aegis, and it looks like this is a pretty similar opening from him. So I'm guessing we might see, once again, that Hellbat drop style. The Hellbat drop didn't necessarily do a lot, but the follow-up is what won him that game.
No third base yet out of spawn. Going to be delaying that just a little bit longer, and just kind of like he did last game. I think, what was it? Was it 6:30 third base? It was somewhere around there. Going to be once again going for this heavy queen style. Going to get the extra 2 queens out to start getting his creep spread out. And on a map like this, it's very important to do that because the bases, especially that 4th base, is so far away. You really need to get the creep spread over there to be able to defend against drops rather easily with that. This SCV once again going to be getting chased down across the map. This time he is going to get home safely, and Aegis not just going to let that die off once again. So being a little bit kinder to his workers this time around. No strikes this game.
Well, he's going to be able to get up to the supply depot. He's going to be allowed to lower that wall because there are not vicious lings desperately trying to run through the supply depot or cuddly lings from StarCrafts.
Gosh, those little Carbat lings are so freaking cute. I could just watch those things all day.
Adorable.
We do have the reactor going down on the factory. Something got canceled over here. I think that might have been a supply depot. I don't know. I missed that, to be honest. Starport going down right next to that factory. So I'm curious. It's probably just going to be one medevac coming out. Armory as well. So, yep, it is going to once again be these Hellbat drops that we saw in the previous game. We'll have to see if they're a little bit more effective this game. This time around, I don't think, no, we don't have any gas yet, so there won't be, actually no, they're down at the natural, but there is no Roach Warren yet, so that's going to change that up just a little bit.
Yeah, the Roaches didn't necessarily do all that much early game versus the Hellbat drop. Because of where the drop ended up going, there really weren't Roaches there in the first place. He had to pull the lings, and the lings got there first, and the lings were able to clean it up. It wasn't too terribly big of a deal. But I'm very interested to see whether or not that was just he's cutting the Roaches simply because of that, or because he's going for a completely different style of play this game. My guess is he's probably going for something completely different, as we do see 3 gas now on the field. That's a little bit more than you'd see for a quick Roach style. I'm guessing it's probably going to be that Ling Bane Ling Muta.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, is that 4th gas is taken as well. Hellbats have begun to spawn out on the map. Double medevac production starting up now as well. So these Hellbats going to be coming out in fairly short order here. Again, creep spread, maybe a little bit slower around this time for spawn, but not doing too bad of a job. Going to be able to kill off that SCV after
Caster's Curse.
It gets out. After it gets out. There we go. And Spawn not too happy about that. So Aegis is going to get down here. See, there's no 4th. That would have been a super fast 4th anyways. I don't think that he's too terribly surprised. But only now, taking his natural expansion when Spawn already has his 3rd base finished up.
Coffee's coming back.
The SCV. Look at the manners there from Aegis. Letting Spawn have that SCV kill. That is how you know that you're playing a very respectable opponent.
Yeah, sacrificing that, very interesting. We do see 3 Hellbats in the medevacs. That is the amount that it takes to one-shot a worker, flying directly over the lings so that Spawn knows. Another gentlemanly move there.
And very, very nice out of Aegis. I think that he's just trying to give Spawn all the advantages he can because he thinks he's a better player than Spawn. No, I'm putting words in Aegis' mouth here. That is going to be flying over towards the main base. There's the Spore Crawler and the Queen there to defend. And, oh, actually, a second Spine Crawl actually going to be going down as well. That's going to be finishing up just a little, I guess actually just about the time these medevacs do manage to get into that mineral line. Zergling's there to defend as well. And I think this, once again, is going to get pushed back without any consequences.
Yeah, that was more of a threat than anything else at that point. He knew that the Lings had seen it. He pretty much stopped and chilled next to an Overlord as well. He wasn't expecting to do damage. He was expecting to force like a little bit of a unit reaction out of spawn, and he did do that. There's a good chunk of Lings on the field now, which are pretty much necessary. Ooh, actually going to drop on the top of the ramp. This could actually do a lot of damage if he just chills on that ramp like that. Yes. It looks like he will.
Yeah, Spawn really cannot try to push up and engage that. I mean, he got a couple shots off on that Queen there. There really was no point in sitting there, though. I mean, what are you going to do at that point? You're not going to kill drones there. You're probably not going to kill Lings there. You may as well fall out, and there we go. Spire coming down, Baneling Nest coming down as well. In the meantime, Aegis beginning to move out with his army here. It is going to be Hellbat, Marine, and Marauder. Couple medevacs up in the air for that healing potential as well. Stimpack, though. Oh, Stimpack's not done yet. I don't know if that was a mistake, if he forgot that, or if it's just going to be kind of an odd timing attack here. But I think that it's almost a little bit of a mistake moving out without Stimpack done.
There are currently no Banelings on the field, so it will be up to these Lings to get a nice solid surround on these Hellbats here and hopefully take them out. We do see a handful of Roaches joining the fray as well. A couple of Banelings at this third. Those Hellbats are going to go ahead and boost in there with the medevac. Going to try and pick off some Lings. Unfortunately, it looks like he will only get one drone there before flying away. And it looks like actually Aegis seeing that army going to go ahead and, yeah, I don't want to fight that right now. Going to go ahead and start to pull forward again.
Pull forward
Pull
again.
forward again.
There you go. Going to be able to actually take a few pot shots off of that Spore Crawler that's up on the high ground there. Maybe not the best positioning for that Spore Crawler there. And I just want to point out the fact Spawn actually used the perfect number of Zerglings to surround that Hellbat, not putting any extra there so, you know, a bunch could get hit by the splash damage. I mean, that was very nice execution. A very nice hold there by Spawn. Aegis did a good thing too. Kind of went up there. Saw, you know what? Okay, there's a little bit too much and pulled out.
Ooh, I just realized something very important that attack just did. It forced those roaches to come on the field, which stopped Spawn from making Mutalisks. He is completely, he has no Mutalisks on the field. The Spire is done. It is ready to go. But Spawn has no money to make Mutalisks. He's instead committing to a possibility of a really big attack here, sort of like we saw in the last game. We do see Aegis still sharking around the map with this tiny little group of units. But Spawn, not necessarily knowing that that's there, is going to just sort of position to stop an attack that's possibly coming. But in the end, it's really not going to do much. We do see a scan going down somewhere. It's in the main base. Going to go ahead and see that the Spire is up. Sees the Spire start to do its little jiggly dance. So it will be an upgrade, so he knows that there will, in fact, more than likely be mutas on the field at some point here in the near future. We do see +1/+1 for those for the Lings and eventually the Ultras coming out for Spawn as well.
No centrifugal hooks actually right now for Spawn though, which is kind of a big deal. That's going to be that Baneling movement speed. And without that, I mean, yeah, okay, without centrifugal hooks, it really just means that you have to engage on creep. You cannot afford to engage off creep without it, especially this far into the game, because sniping Banelings really is not that difficult when they're slow Banelings off of that creep. So it looks like Spawn going to be moving down towards the south. I think he might be thinking about expanding down there fairly shortly here. Baneling's going to get morphed in. And still no centrifugal hooks though. There was that bio ball with the Hellbats added in there are going to be coming down here as well, but really nothing there for them to hit. Oh man, he's setting up a nice flank here. Oh, Aegis smells something. Does he? No, he's actually going to be moving in. And oh man, that's actually going to be a nice hit from Spawn here. Getting a great fling on this little ball of units there. That's going to get cleaned up. And Aegis, I don't think he can push it with this much stuff on the field right now for Spawn.
No, he lost a lot from that movement. We did see a Ling on the watchtower, saw that attack coming, so he knew that there was a bio ball moving down, put himself in a great position, had a great arc ready to surround. If that entire army from Aegis had pushed down there a little bit sooner, that could have gone absolutely incredibly well for Spawn, as it was a nice little victory.
Still no Mutalisks coming out onto the field for Impulse's Spawn right now. He has plenty of gas saved up. No Infestation Pit either, so it's not like he's, you know, saving up to go straight for the Ultralisk or something. There we go, 3 Mutalisks finally getting spawned out. He does have that +1 flare attack on the way as well. Centrifugal hooks, nearing about halfway done. Needs that before he can really push out and try to do any damage. Spawn, my goodness, once again has just such great map control right now. He can see, well, pretty much everything in the middle of the map. You can't really see the top or the north or south side of the map, which I really wish that he would at least take these Naga watchtowers that Aegis is actually currently holding, which is a nice little victory for Aegis. I mean, it's a little thing sometimes. This Zergling is going to be nomming away at the third base. Not going to be able to really do all that much damage here. The Harvesters fairly even with the Mules added in. And really, this is a pretty even game all told for these players.
That Ling just pulled the entirety of the Terran army out of position.
That was a very aggressive Ling.
It was a very aggressive Ling. It was terrifying. That was not a StarCraft Ling.
That was not a Carbots Ling. I completely agree there. More Banelings being morphed in here, which means more gas into that, which means still not nearly as many Mutalisks as we've seen in previous games.
He is going, Spawn is once again with his map awareness going to see that this attack is coming. It looks like he's going to go for a massive counterattack here at the natural expansion. There's actually nothing here to defend right now, except he's not going to go up yet. Maybe.
He's waiting for the Banelings to get in front there to be able to smash down that wall, but once again, nothing there. The burrowed Banelings are right outside the base. He's going right in! Natural! He's going to be able to do so much damage there. I know that he's watching. He has those Banelings selected, but Aegis not quite stepping over those. Pulling out of the natural, trying to pull Aegis. The Baneling lands mines doing so much damage and now getting the falls around.
There's, however, a lot of Hellbats in there, so all of the Lings dying almost instantly due to the fact that those Hellbats did, in fact, have that blue flame. So it looks like Aegis will once again hold on, not quite doing as much damage as you like. However, there are Mutalisks in that natural expansion, killing a lot of SCVs. It's like, well, about 5 have been gone down right about now, but he has forced a lot of lost mining here as well. Very nice little engagement for Spawn during this. He really hasn't set up any additional bases back at home, however, which would be quite nice, not necessarily for the mineral count, but he is a little bit gas starved.
There's still a Baneling on the ramp. There's still just one Baneling chilling out on the ramp right there. I don't know if he can do all that much damage, but let's Sorry. There's still a Baneling on the ramp.
There you go.
And I don't know if he was really going to be able to do all that much damage. Here comes the re-macro out of spawn here. Does have 30 Zerglings coming out of the map. Now he's starting to get a little bit better of a composition up and running. Mutalist Ball starting to get up here. Flies right past that fourth. Did he see that? Yes, he did. Going to be turning around and denying the fourth once again. Just now getting his own fourth on the field. Fourth is canceled again for Aegis. Aegis, by the way, moving to the north.
And he sees that once again. Spawn with his watchtower positioning is going to see that. Mutalist going to go ahead and fly into the natural expansion. Going to go ahead and get denied by this little group of Lings here, of Marines here. But the fact that these Marines and this tank are chilling back at home means this little force is actually going to go for a massive Doom drop. That's really interesting. I believe Spawn sees that, however. He knows that that is there, and he is putting himself in a good position to defend against that. There he goes. Going to go ahead and drop in. The Lings are right there, ready to stop that. However, so many Hellbats are going to go ahead and do a lot of damage to the Lings. Even a Thor, he's throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at Spawn right now, but Spawn going to go ahead and clean up that drop without a problem. Medevacs boosting away. The Mutas are in hot pursuit. And now that that boost has run out, one or two of these will likely go down.
Yeah, those Mutas are going to be able to pick up a couple of those extra medevacs, and those have so much energy. That's actually a nice hit there for Spawn, who's going to be flying into that third base. Mile Ball going to be running up here as well. That's going to push them back. Thor's now entering the field. The Lings coming in from behind. Going to get one seat tank. Going to get a surround of the Thor. The Mutas pushing in. They're so bunched up, but the Thor doesn't care. In that mineral line, going to be able to take out so many SCVs. Aegis falling back.
So many SCVs going down. A lot of roaches, a lot of Lings coming in for the re-macro as well. All the SCVs at the third go down. There's a total of 39 SCVs have been killed this game. That command center is going to fall as well. So many units for Spawn. It's 196 supply to 87. Aegis is going to GG. Spawn wins. Spawn takes the series 2-1 in an incredible matchup.
Has Aegis ever been in a loser's bracket before? What do you do down there, man?
I don't know.
My goodness, so Spawn able to take out Aegis in a convincing 2-1 victory. Those players so evenly matched. You know what the weirdest thing is? That could have been the finals, but it's not.
The thing is, due to the fact that this is a double elimination tournament, there's always the possibility that it could be the grand finals as well. Oh, that would be absolutely incredible. But that being said, they have a lot of additional players to go through to get to those finals. Coffee, I see you got the bracket open. Who are some of those players?
Well, let me tell you, with that 2-1 victory over Aegis, Spawn is going to advance to winners round 3, where he will play the ex-Grandmaster Zerg player proficient in his